today I'm going to check out this Piaggio MP3. This is the 400 size, so they make a 500 and a 250, but this is like the sweet spot apparently in the as far as they go. Now, if you're not familiar with these, they have the funky and of course I got my camera on here, so we're going to get some video from this angle of how this works. But yeah, basically they have a double front wheel setup, kind of like the Yamaha Nikon that I ride a lot, that you guys are familiar with. But this is an Italian scooter company, and they have a system that locks these in place below 5 miles an hour if you push a button. So as you come to a stop, it'll stay upright. There's no kickstand, there's no center stand has to be used. There is one on there, and the center stand does get down kind of low, so it is a clearance problem because of how low it is. So we'll see how that plays out. I'm not going to be railing on too hard, but yeah, it's kind of cool that it has some features like this. It's got a CVT transmission, so it doesn't really have a gear to hold it in place. So this is the e-brake, and then this is like a bag holder for hanging things on for carrying your groceries home. Look at it. Never mind the big pole on the front end there to get my funky angle. I don't know if I should shoot these kind of videos before I mount my camera gear up. I think it's kind of interesting to see how I'm getting the angles that you're going to end up seeing in the video from a viewer standpoint. But if you don't agree with that, let me know in the comments. And if you have something interesting that you want to share with me to ride and do a little review on, that would be really cool. Just contact me through here, or you can email me, killboy@killboy.com. Let's take this thing out for a spin and see what it's like.
Check, check, sound check. 1, 2. Check, check. Alright. Rides like a scooter. That's all you gotta remember. Again, you brake off. Turn that off. And now I'm in control. It's kind of weird remembering that the rear brake is on the, oh wow, yeah. Rear brake is on the left lever. So it's a little bit easier than I think a normal brake setup on a motorcycle that requires a clutch lever to sort of manage the, I'm kind of watching my camera on the stick to make sure it's not hitting the ground, but to manage the rear brake, and the rear brake seems to have a little more authority on slowing it down than the front brake does. So it really does. I'm still a little hesitant to lean it over, y'all. I'm easing into it, not mine, and plus I'm leery of that camera sticking down there close to the road like that, but it seems to be okay. It's weird, it almost wants to pull itself wide going around the turns if you get on the brake while it's leaned over. Which is kind of typical, but maybe it does it more so than a traditional bike. Full throttle, not a ton of power, but fast enough. To keep you out of people's way, so to speak. No real discernible sound from the exhaust, which is not surprising. This isn't meant to be some aggressive, high-performance machine. It's supposed to coexist in urban settings without bothering everybody. You're making a bunch of racket, so it's not a bad thing. Downhill here, pretty steep. Yeah, the brakes are nothing to write home about. It's not going to do any stoppies or lock up the rear tire probably even, but I don't know, it might. I'm not sure if it has ABS. Doesn't appear to need it. I can't seem to get the rear brake to lock up. Maybe if you were on something really slippery, it would need it. Kiowa Dam, off to our left. I'm going to pull into the entrance for Tofoko Lodge here and turn around. I can get through the checkpoint if I wanted to, but there's no real point. I just wanted to ride it for a few miles here and see what it was like. Oh no, we're going to be behind the car. Pretty agile. The owner of this one did a little trick that a lot of people apparently don't know about at first, but it has a very stiff steering mechanism from the factory. It's over torqued and under greased and whatnot. So he greased all that up and kind of loosened it up a little bit from the factory setup, and now it's like, he said, it's like drove like a dump truck before, and now it'll almost fall over on you. So you got to sort of keep that in mind. Well, thought they might pull over for me, but I guess not. All right, so otherwise, pretty cushy, nice soft seat. You could definitely ride a long time on this. No back, support or anything for the driver. Of course, the rider has the passenger has the box back there on his setup that they could kind of lean back against. Probably pull over up here and give this car a couple minutes to go on, give us some clear road so I can go my pace. I forgot to lock it. There we go. So that's so cool. So by pushing this thumb switch over here on my right hand towards the inside, and once you get below 5 miles an hour, it locks the suspension no matter where you're at. So for instance, if you're on something that's got a slope to it and you're holding the bike to where it's vertically straight up and down, even though the wheels are separated, it'll still lock and it'll still hold it upright, even though the wheels are in a funky angle because you're on a slope. So as long as you are holding the bike in a vertical orientation and you push that lock button, it's going to lock it up. And I don't have a kickstand down, I have a center stand down, it'll stay up by itself because that whole mechanism's locked up right now. As soon as I give it the gas and start to move, it'll automatically unlock, or I can pull that button to the side and that'll unlock it as well manually. So he said it gets crazy gas mileage, better than its Prius, and for something that'll go, 100 miles an hour, it's not too bad. Now we're creeping forward and I'm not even doing anything. That's trippy. Because it's a CVT transmission, I have not locked the e-brake. We're on level ground, but yeah, if you start to give it any kind of, and there it went. So as soon as it moves, it doesn't have to be up to 5 miles an hour to release. As soon as it senses movement, it releases that lock mechanism. So something to keep in mind for myself. All right, let's go on ahead here and see how she does. He said there's parts that drag kind of early on the center stand parts and all that, so got to be careful of that. Full throttle. typical of a CVT transmission. There are no gear shifts. It's just a constant fluid forward pull, almost like a centrifugal clutch set up on a old go-kart or something. You know, you just give it the gas and it gradually applies as you speed up. The CVT, it's all in the transmission, not a clutch, but it still does a similar thing. Coming up on our little waterfall here, kind of a tight turn. No scraping yet. That's good. Because the center stand scraping is all the way back at the back tire, so it's going to lift up that back tire when it scrapes and cause it to step out, and I want to be careful about that. Track's pretty solid though. Nice predictable line and everything. Can't complain about that. So there we have it. Hope you enjoyed that little drive. Oh yeah, signal is still on. Let me go ahead and lock this. Pull my e-brake. How about that? Pretty cool, right? Alright, so there you have it. If you enjoyed that, give me a like, a subscription if you haven't already, and we'll love you forever. Till next time, thanks you guys. Peace.